All right, guys, it's 11:20 p.m. on January 20th, 2023. I want to do a quick video on leveraged ETFs and how they can be predictive in some ways of pending reversals. So, starting here with today's trades, I have the bull leverage filter selected, and this just shows you anything that's a leveraged trade on the bull side. So we've got all sorts of things: silver, energy, biotechs, Russell, et cetera, and this goes all the way down. What I notice after the close, and what I've often noticed in the past, is that after big moves like the ones we had today, if we see a lot of bull leverage and bear leverage come in, it tends to suggest that one side is being closed and the other side is being open. This happens at both tops and bottoms. Not every top, not every bottom, but we get these strong intraday moves like today. It's not uncommon to see this. So what we got today was a couple of really big ones that stood out to me. And there's some in here for metals and various other things. That the China one is here. But the ones that stood out to me are TNA, which is the leverage Russell. It's in the top 100. And the last time it traded this large was 2 months ago. And the leverage long SDOW, which ranks in the top 50, and also last traded this large back on November 18th. If on top of that, though, we have the energy, the 2X XLE, which was top 20. This was a really big one for XLE. And last traded this large end of the year, 2022. But still quite a large trade. Unusual. It's unusual to see this guy show up. So when he does, I always pay attention. If we look a little more closely, before I do that, we've got biotechs, LABU, top 50. Last traded this large September OPEX, so 4 months ago. It's been a while. Now, if you look, the relative size of some of these is not super impressive. It's 12x, 5x, 4x over here, 5x. What matters here is the rank, because these things don't trade as often. There are fewer trades, and when they do hit, they don't tend to be super large. So you have to treat these with relative size relative to the rest of the trades in that for that particular ticker. So that's what the ranking here does. It tells you that even though this one's only 12 times larger than average, which may not really jump out to you, it's big, but it's not like 50 or 60 or 100 times larger than average. You still know it's in the top 100. So same with LABU here. This one's only 5 times larger than average, and it still ranks in the top 50. That tells you that the vast majority of the LABU trades are about average size, which in this case would be 100K shares roughly. So moving forward, we see LABU, biotechs. This shows the top 3 trades since the last time a trade of this size printed, which was back on September 16th, and you can see they all come at tops, top. And this is a garbage chart. It's really choppy, difficult to trade. But the takeaway here is that when it gets to a high, you see a print. Not every high, but when you do see a print, it's at a high. This one isn't at the exact high up here, but it's just at the high of this smaller bar here. But the point remains, it suggests that it has reached the end of the road for now. Who knows where it's going to go next, but does not suggest that it will continue upward. And if we zoom in, we can see that it came right here at the end of the day, right at the end of the rally, which is not surprising. It suggests to me profit taking, closing their longs, moving on to the next thing. And we can see that's what they've done in the past. ERX, energy, at a low level right here, end of the day. Now it's only 174K, but relative to how much it normally trades, it stands out. So this leveraged long appears to be being closed here at the high. If you zoom out, this goes back to first of the year. You can see this one was at a high. We got a sell afterwards. We can see this one is coming at what appears to be some kind of a high. It's not this high, but it's a high. Suggests to me that it's going to reverse. Moving to the next one, TNA. This is the leveraged long Russell 2000, IWM. Right here at the end of the day, big rally all day, big trade at the top. Zooming out, you can see the last 5 times. Look at this. Near a high, at a high, at a high, at a high, at a high. When these bigger trades come in, and these are all similarly sized between 300 and 400K, that tends to mark the end of the move. Not a guarantee that it will, just playing probabilities here. So when I see this after a rally, it piques my interest and suggests to me that maybe I should be looking lower, at least in the near term. Doesn't mean we're going to necessarily, drop 10%. It just means that this leg of this particular rally is not likely to advance further from here, at least not materially. If we switch over and look at the bear leverage, we'll see 2 trades that stand out that I posted. We have SDOW here and SPXS. SPXS is the 3x bear S&P. SDOW is the 3x bear Dow Jones. These are larger, relatively speaking, than the bull prints that we were just looking at. This one's 26 times larger than average and 27 times larger than average. And these rank in the top 10. This is the 3rd largest overall, 6th largest overall. These really, really, really stand out to me. If we look at SDOW, you can see the last three largest trades since this one goes back to April. Big one here at the high when they were closing out their SDOW. This corresponds to a low in the Dow. And then another one just below it. Then here, this appears to me to be buying with the anticipation of taking SDOW up and taking the Dow down. We'll see. Don't know how far. Not even a guarantee that it'll happen. Just, again, probabilities and odds. If we look more closely, we can see SDOW went down all day because the Dow went up all day. And looks like there's a small buy here. We got a little bounce, and then here's the big buy here. So this suggests to me that they're going to take SDOW back up because they buy high and they buy low and they sell high, not the reverse. SPXS. So shorting the S&P. This corresponds to the June low in the S&P, and this is the high in the SPXS. And we can see here that they, no surprise, closed it right there at the high for SPXS, which was the low for SPY at the time. And it declined. Took it back up, and it declined. This here was a buy. We got a little bit of a rally in SPXS, which corresponded to a decline in SPY. And now we're right back here in this same zone, and it looks like they bought more. Last time was 850K, this time is 1.32 million. So this is the largest of these 3 trades, going back to last April. And I'm sorry, the trade today, this one was larger. Sorry. Today's had more shares, but this one had more dollars because it was priced higher. 30x here versus 26. So, and then looking more closely today, SPY rallied all day, no surprise. SPXS went down all day. Maybe a little buy, maybe a little covering, hard to tell. Don't know there either, but these are okay size, but they're not big enough to really get my attention, but this one does. This is a big one, 1.32 million. Came after hours at 4:41 p.m. On a dark pool. This to me suggests they're buying. So when I see the bear leverage and the bull leverage print after hours together, after a big move, and this happens more often with a rally than a big sell-off, and that's because the mechanics are slightly different, but that's a topic for another time. Regardless, it does suggest that they are closing out their LABU and their ERX and their TNA and other things too. If we look at the long side, there's a whole bunch of TQQQ that came in. Smaller trades, but cumulatively they add up. 7x, 4x, 4x, 3.5x. And then, of course, all the inventory that didn't show up on these large trade screens. So if we pull up TQQQ and we look at the 50 largest trades, we'll just look at all the trades, see what it shows. And there we go. So this is kind of noisy. You can see they were trading it all the way up. If we look at the 10 largest trades, we'll probably see them selling into the strength of the rally. Yeah, and so we got a little bit here. This, well, you know, it's tough to tell. Maybe that's buying, maybe that's selling. But this one here suggests that it's selling. These are probably buys. Pushing it up, selling up here. The larger trades appearing later in the rally, suggesting to me that they are sells. But anyway, this is not my strongest piece of evidence. I'm looking at ERX, I'm looking at TNA, I'm looking at biotechs here. And then on the downside, I'm looking at SDOW and SPXS. So that's it. We'll see what happens next week. But if we get a reversal, and of course, no guarantees, timing is always tricky. So it's not like we're going to wake up Monday morning and there's going to be a big, big sell-off. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but I think the more likely outcome is that it'll churn a bit Sunday and Monday evening near the high. They'll have to sell more inventory. They might make a new nominal high in SPY and QQQ. Who knows? But it does suggest that they are positioning for a reversal. And maybe Tuesday? I don't know. Maybe Monday. Maybe later. No way to know. We'll have to see. Just looks to me like the remaining upside on this particular rally is limited. And we'll go from there. So that's it. Thanks for listening. info@volumeleaders.com. Find me on Twitter. Subscribe if you want to get these videos automatically. And that's it. Thanks for listening.